This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I am delighted to be joined by the European champion Jason Cunningham over Zoom. Jason, firstly, how are you?
I'm very, very good, thank you. I don't usually dress like this. I've just got my towel on because I've literally just finished sparring and not had time to get ready. So, yeah, very, very happy. Preparation's going well for me, European title defence. Yeah, in a good place, 4 weeks to go.
Glad to hear, man. As you said there, you've just literally finished sparring, so I appreciate you jumping straight onto this Zoom. Talk to me about Terry Le Couviour. I hope I've said his name right. What do you know about him, Jason?
No massive amount, a few clips knocking about. To be honest with you, I say this like say every opponent. I'll watch a little bit around the two, which I found some footage of him, and then I'll leave it to Ray and Steffi to devise a plan, and then it's down to me to execute it, isn't it? So I've had a watch of him, happy what I've seen. Very, very confident I'll get the victory. Anything other than that is not good enough, but yeah, just looking forward to it.
Jason, you obviously mentioning their kind of game plans and what have you. I'm sure you won't want to give anything away in case Terry happens to stumble across this interview, but what should people expect to see from yourself now? Obviously, holding that European title comes an added sense of pressure, an added sense of responsibility for yourself to kind of impress as you look to continue to push on with your own career. So what are you hoping to show people come April 16th?
A boxing lesson, schooling him and showing obviously my ability. It's my first fight under Queensberry, under Frank Warren. So I want to make a big statement. All eyes are on me that night. And I'm going to enjoy every little bit of the moment. Like I say, I've won the title from the champion, 3 weeks notice. I beat my mandatory. This is another mandatory defence, not a voluntary. I'm looking to make a statement, really put myself out there and push further towards the world title.
Jason, talking about that, obviously this is a mandatory as well. Why is it that there seems to be so many mandatories being forced upon the European title holders?
I'm not too sure. I mean, we looked at top 10 and we had a look at Terry anyway, obviously being the next mandatory. And I was happy to go straight into that fight anyway. I thought, talking world titles and stuff like that, so I need to be beating these kids and pushing them anyway. That's the way I look at it. So, yeah, I'm very confident in beating Terry, but I'm very confident in doing a good job on the night on him.
With that in mind and listening to you speak there, you mentioned world honours and what have you. Provided April 16th goes to plan, what is the future going to hold for yourself for at least this year?
They want me busy. I know that. Frank and his team want me very busy out again. It's hard to say, I think it just depends on what opportunities fall. If I'm offered a fight, I know. Even like, I know I've cleaned up domestically. Foster, they're not very happy. They're still jumping a bit, and like I said, there's a few other super bantamweights on this bill alone, isn't there? So there's going to be a few rivalries built. I don't mind building them because if it makes sense, then it is what it is. But I just want to push on further towards the world title. Lads are just going now. Just whatever opportunity comes for me to push that a bit closer, whether it's a world title eliminator or whatever else. I'm open to whatever.
I will ask about Brad shortly, but one final one on your fight on April 16th. Telford International Centre. How did this bout for yourself end up in Telford of all places, Jason?
I don't know. Just obviously there were a couple of dates put towards. Obviously this one's the Midlands. Just got told I was topping the bill, so can't complain with that. I'm heading live on BT Sports. My first fight under Frank. Yeah, let's just do it. All mile we're willing to go. Obviously, it's still there's a few Midlands boys here, like I say, we're fostering them, so it might be a bit hostile for me. I don't know, but listen, I'm professional. I take it in my stride, and I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, you obviously have a Fury White fight the week after your show. So, was there any discussions just to hold your bout for a week and put it on that undercard?
There was talk beforehand, but now I look at it, I'm kind of glad it's fell how it was. I mean, that would have been nice, but this is my show. This is probably better for my profile. And it's a good card, to be fair, as well. There's some good fights on the undercard. That Davis and Kane. Davis is the one who's been opening his mouth a bit after the Foster fight with myself. Nathan Heaney, he's a big ticket seller, so I expect it to be busy at night. He's got a good following. And there's a little more talent on the card as well. I believe Foster's on, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's been announced. Beluta, and he's an handful. He showed with Conlan that. So that's a good fight. Fair play to Brad for coming back in a fight like that himself. I'll give him credit there. So there's some good fights on the night. Obviously, like I say, Terry, we'll see what Terry's going to bring. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to make for a good fight, but he is my mandatory, so it's down, he's always in my way. He's who I've got to take care of. It's as simple as that. So yeah, it's a good night of action.
I mean, on the Brad front, Jason, that Baluta fight, as you mentioned, he is a very good fight for a fan's perspective, and it'll be a tough fight for Brad to come back in on the back of that defeat to yourself. But for you, obviously, I'm sure you've seen Brad's comments about how much he wants a rematch with yourself in the near future. Is that something which you'd be open to, or is it something you're beyond?
Listen, yeah, no, I'm a once-a man, aren't I? They're all going to jump a bit. This press conference is going to be funny because I bet they've all got something to say there as well. Rest of the bantamweights. I'm glad to be part of it. I'm glad that Frank's got a stable like that because, like I say, if it makes sense, then I'm not one to shy away. So they can talk all they want, this and that, and all these little fanboys who are jumping up wagon. Jason should be a bit rematch, this and that. Well, no, I've already beat him. If I've been there, I've done it. Then it's down to him to earn his shot again. I'm always open. If it makes sense, like I say, then that's fine. But I'm pushing towards world title. I've cleaned up domestically. I beat Yafai, a domestic opponent, took the European strap. I've cleaned up. I've took every other strap. So why would I be hanging about for these boys? I want to push on as much as I can. And then, who's to say that fight further down the line, it don't build up. It don't make more sense. It don't make us more money between us both as well. That's another side of things. So I'm always open. Don't think I'm not. But I've earned my right to be number one. I'm number one of these sub bantamweights, and I've earned right to push on for this world title shot. I deserve it. So whatever happens and comes, we'll see. But no, it is what it is. Well, lucky boys, you're just going to have to keep chasing me.
One other man I want to put to you and just get your thoughts on was Mark Leach. Obviously, a very impressive win and performance against York for your old title this past weekend. What did you make of Mark? And again, is that a name you'd consider if he continues to progress?
I fancied Leach in that fight with Bork. No disrespect to Bork, he's another good kid. He's another one who's been chatting me, man, my name though. Leach will probably want to win, and he's earned his right, so he would have been next in line anyway. He has actually earned his shot. Fair play to him. So good performance, very very awkward style. I definitely come across that fight as a completely different game plan to what Bork did. I know he had a few things go against him on the night, broken hand and stuff like that, but I'd have definitely gone with different tactics to what Bork did anyway. And listen, in long run, if it makes sense, like I've just said, he's just same as all other boys. If it makes sense in the long run, then I'm open to it. But I'm looking at what's best for me for the time being, and that's all that counts.
Away from yourself, Jason, just your thoughts on two people going back to this past weekend's Matchroom show. Firstly, Terry Harper, campmate of yours, back to winning ways. What did you make of her performance? How happy were you to see her return with a win?
Yeah, absolutely over the moon for T. We're all over in this gym. We've got a close-knit family, and just so happy because obviously she put a lot of demons to bed. After the last defeat, she would have, she's only young Terry as well. She would have a lot on her mind, a lot of thoughts running through. She warmed into the fight, and then she come into her own, switching orthodox southpaw, running through gears, just gaining confidence. So it was good to see, and obviously she put herself back in that title picture now as well. So over the moon for T. Well done, T. And yeah, onwards and upwards for her.
And final one, obviously, I'm sure you stayed in tune for that main event. A stunning fight between Lee Wood and Michael Conlon with that late stoppage for Lee. Obviously, since then, thankfully, Michael's come out and he's okay. But just your thoughts on what was a brilliant fight and that ended in such a stunning fashion.
Well, firstly, for boxing, that is the perfect advert for boxing because that had absolutely everything from start to finish. I was there live. I went with my friend. Took my daughter's little girl Lex. Her first ever boxing event. She'd been on at me for ages to go to one. And for an 11-year-old, that is a memory that will stick with her forever because the atmosphere, the Irish were by me, all Nottingham, all Midlands, it was just one of the best atmosphere I've ever been in. And the fight itself was absolutely brilliant. So for an 11-year-old kid, from her point of view, that's one that'll take some beating and that'll always be with us. So that was good. I'm happy about that. On another one, my pal, I looked at him on the night. It was in the last round, a minute to go. And I looked at him, I says, Conlon's got this. I said, he's got this. He says, come on, we may as well go before everyone jumps and goes out. And we're trying to avoid traffic. We started walking out. Kids absolutely cracked themselves, if you like. Crowd erupted, wondered what was going off. I turned back and I could see on the screen obviously what happened with Michael. So I thought, I can't believe it. We couldn't believe it. But then obviously we had to carry on doing what we were doing. So out we went. But it had absolutely everything, that fight. I'd send my wishes to Mick anyway. Brilliant performance. He'll come back from that. He's probably been hounded with messages, so I'm going to leave it a bit longer before I personally message him anyway. Same with Lee. When Lee won world title, I congratulated him. I've always rated Lee. So fair play to both boys. I'm sure they'll both come back. Not come back stronger. Lee can move on and do whatever else next what he deserves. Michael will definitely come back. I said, boys, both have a rest first and foremost, because I'd have had some miles on call that one. Definitely had everything. And fair play to them both. Both of them dug in. Just a brilliant advert for boxing, wasn't it?
Certainly was, Jason, and I'll leave that there now. I'll leave you to go and get ready for your second session. I appreciate you giving up some time, though. Good luck with the rest of camp, and thanks for speaking to me in Boxing Social.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate.